everyone, it's Clarice and this is Clarice Reads. Currently, I am reading Marvel's Civil War, not just the 7 main event issues, no, I'm actually attempting to read the entire recommended reading order by Marvel, which involves 98 issues. Which is kind of intimidating, yeah, but it's been fun so far. Actually, it's been pretty great so far. I'm finding myself enjoying every single issue, not even just the ones with characters that I'm familiar with, which is awesome. But reading this has also reminded me that there are a lot of really great comics that I have yet to mention on this channel. So today I'm going to be recommending some of those comics. I have 3 to share with you, so let's just get started. There are a lot of comic book series being released by the company Image that BookTube has been obsessing over within the last year or two. Series like Saga, Rat Queens, The Wicked and the Divine, Chew, just to name a few. But one that I don't think I've heard anything of on BookTube so far that I really enjoy is Descender. Descender is set in a very different kind of future. The world starts out being very dependent and being helped by robots and that sort of thing, but eventually this major event causes the entire galaxy to lose trust in robots, and so they started hunting them down and trying to destroy them. This series actually follows this little robot named Tim-21 who, years after this major event, wakes up into a world devoid of robots basically, and now he's suddenly an outlaw on the run from these people that are trying to destroy him. It's written by Jeff Lemire, who also wrote Sweet Tooth, which I've yet to read, but I've heard a bit of on BookTube, so you may have heard of it. And he's also writing this great title right now, also on Image, called Platona, which I love. It also has some great art by Dustin Nguyen. It's really nice and watercolor-y, and I really enjoy it. It's a wonderful sci-fi story. So far, only 1 volume is out, but I have read the issue that follows that volume, and I'm really looking forward to the direction that this series is heading in. It's also going to have a movie soon, which is ridiculous since only, I think, 9 issues are out as of this moment. So that's kind of crazy, but it's also pretty great, and I really suggest that you check Descender out. I think we can all agree that the internet is probably one of the greatest things ever invented. But imagine a future without the internet. Imagine a world wherein the clouds bursting has caused privacy to be the most important thing. And imagine following the story of a private eye in that sort of world. The Private Eye is another sci-fi story, though it is also a detective story at the same time. It's a super addictive read written by Brian K. Vaughan, who wrote things like Saga and Y the Last Man, a couple of titles you might have heard of, with art by Marcus Martin and colors by Muntza Vicente. Another interesting thing about this is actually the platform which they released it on. Vaughn and Martin actually started this company called Panel Syndicate, which is a website that people can release comics on, and this is the first thing released there. It's actually basically this website wherein you can download comics and only pay whatever price you are willing to pay, whether that be $100, $1, nothing at all. It's a pay what you want to download it type of company, which is really, really interesting. They're getting some other writers and artists to release cool things on their website as well, so I will definitely link Panel Syndicate down below so you can check it out, because it's pretty cool. Now, if any of you are reading Civil War or have read Civil War because of the movie, kind of like I am, then you may probably be following the Marvel Cinematic Universe, though honestly, who isn't following the Marvel Cinematic Universe at this point? But anyway, if you are following it, you might have heard of something called the Inhumans. So who are the Inhumans? I won't go into all the history of their origin, like I won't get into the aliens and experimentation, that sort of thing, but if you're curious, I will link a video on the screen that I found helpful that I watched. So you might want to check that out. But basically the Inhumans are this advanced group of superhuman type people who have at this point isolated themselves from the rest of the world and formed their own society with power struggles, a sort of caste system. Some people would describe them as the X-Men meets Game of Thrones, which they kind of are, which is kind of cool. Unlike the X-Men, their powers may also affect their physical appearance. Like, for example, there's this one character that is literally a giant teleporting bulldog. This is not a joke. That's an actual character. Despite its strangeness, it's also a comic book that is surprisingly insightful when it comes to asking questions about our own society and humanity. Paul Jenkins shows us all sides of this inhuman society by following different perspectives from different parts of their society throughout each of the issues. And Jay Lee's art translates surprisingly well to modern comic books for a comic book that was written in 1999. Even if you're kind of hesitant to get into superhero comics, you might enjoy this because it doesn't really require any knowledge outside of this comic. It's a standalone series, so it might be easier for you to get into. So I would definitely recommend it. So those are 3 comics that I would absolutely recommend that you read. Have you read any of them? What do you think of them? And do you have any of your own comic recommendations? I would love to hear about them, possibly read them. Please tell me about them in the comment section down below. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!